Happy New Year! Welcome back or to my channel. I'm so excited about today's video. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be sharing tips and tricks on how to make your night out on the town a lot smoother and a lot more successful. If you're familiar with my channel, you may have seen a couple of my vlogs. A lot of them have a lot of partying and a lot of going out and a lot of late nights. So these are actual tips that I do use and things that just have worked for me over my long, extensive experience in partying. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into this. So if you're interested in learning a couple of new tips and tricks, definitely keep on watching. And if you liked my video, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. And yeah, right into this video we go. For me, one of the top priorities in any night out is comfort. The moment that I start to feel like my feet are gonna fall off, or like life would be better if I just like cut my foot off of my leg, that's when the night just goes downhill, because it's like you're not having fun, you don't want to do anything. That's typically where discomfort starts for me. That's when I'm like, something needs to be done. And a really easy shoe hack that you may or may not have heard of is actually freezing your shoe. So this is a hack that you would use for a shoe that like maybe is brand new, you haven't broken it in yet, or maybe you've worn it out, but like it's still just like a little bit too tight. Freezing the shoe will break it in for you. Oh my god, I didn't mean to rhyme, but I just rhymed. That's cool. So taking a set shoe and then taking a Ziploc bag and filling it with water, you're gonna want to go ahead and like kind of rest it so that the water is like tucked into the toe area, and then you're gonna pop it in the freezer. And what that's gonna do is, because water expands when it turns into ice, it's gonna like slightly expand your shoe. So when my hair is done and my makeup is done and I love my outfit, and then I look down at my hands and my nails are just either chipping or they're not polished, this tip definitely comes in handy, and it's just using a top coat of glitter over your nails, because the chunks of glitter will pretty much just disguise the fact that your nails are chipped. And if you're painting bare hands, I feel like it looks super cute because it's like simplistic, but it's still got that like glammy feel to it. And you only need one coat, so your nails are gonna dry super, super fast. So also really great for people who aren't that great at painting both hands, because it kind of gives you more space to like mess things up and just be messy because it's glitter. So I've got two hacks for faster drying of the nails. And one of them is just putting your fingers into ice water. Your nails dry when they're cold, so this just kind of speeds up the process. Another tip for drying your nails faster is actually cooking spray. If you just take a little bit of your household cooking spray and mist it over your nails, like so. This was extremely anticlimactic. My phone's right here, no big deal. What? And just you're gonna want to mist your fingernails away from your phone and just let them sit for about 2 minutes, and then when you're finished, rinse them off. And you should be able to touch your nail, not necessarily like scrape something, but you should be able to touch things and start your night. Something that's very true for going out nowadays is being a little bit connected to your phone. And for me, that's typically Snapchat. I love Snapchatting my night, and I love documenting my night, but one of the things about documenting is that this drains your battery. And that's not even just like snapping, that's like all the things we do on our phone, and just your phone itself, it's going to die. That's not the best situation to be in when you're out enjoying your night, because you never know what's gonna happen, you never know where your night's gonna take you, and it's just important to have battery. I suggest bringing a portable charger. For me, it like needs to be something I'll always have on me, because otherwise I'll forget it and it just defeats the whole purpose. I introduced the portable charging tassel from Rebecca Minkoff. What's really nice about this charger is that you don't need a plug or a cord or anything extra, like you don't need a wall. It charges on the go. Stick it into your phone and it immediately starts charging. It's life-changing. So as I've already mentioned in the beginning, comfort is key for my nights out. Like the second that I'm uncomfortable, I have to go. Like the night's over, I can't even, I won't even, we just have to call the Uber. That being said, and I don't love doing this, I don't love taking off my heels, but when it comes to that moment where it's just like you're walking crazy, like it literally hurts to walk, like it's unbearable, especially if it's close to the end of the night, you need to just have a pair of hidden flats in your clutch. Just hide them in your clutch. Just, they're right here. Like, just go. Just go on about your night. They're not cute. They're not red bottoms, but they're cuter than walking around like a baby deer. You cannot walk around like a barefoot Contessa. You just have to have something. Like, they don't have to be these. They need to be something. So if you plan to drink while you're going out, and I mean like drink, like more than one drink, like enough drinks to like potentially hang you over, definitely keep this tip in mind. A couple of words of wisdom from my grandfather. He's always said to go out with a base, like eat something greasy, something like a burger. You want it to like soak up the alcohol because you don't want to just like go out and just nosedive into the night. Like that's not how we survive the night. But if you're anything like me and sometimes your dresses are form-fitting and you just like barely made it into your favorite pair of jeans, you might not want to eat a burger, and that's okay. That's fine. I have another idea for you. Eat something that's healthy in fat, healthy fat foods, eggs, avocados, kale, salmon, something that's like light and healthy and it won't like bloat you and have you like feeling like, I just had 5 guys, but like still something that will help you out throughout the night while you're drinking and the next day. If you miss dinner, and this is very fair, you could have forgotten to eat, maybe you didn't have time to eat, these things have both happened to me. However, you're planning on drinking. So if you do miss dinner and you end up at a bar, ask your bartender for nuts or for olives. Load up on those things, like ask them for like mad olives, like give me more olives. Because both olives and nuts contain vitamin B, which is pretty much diminished when you're drinking alcohol. Like it stands no chance. So you're helping yourself out by loading up on these things, and nuts actually contain a good source of fat. So back to my prior point, you want fatty things. So if you're serious about avoiding the appearance and the feeling of bloating, this is a great tip. It's just avoid all sugary mixers, all carbonated drinks. They're gonna do nothing but bloat you. Avoid beer, anything like that. And definitely, if you're drinking on an empty stomach, avoid all of those things because they'll definitely have you feeling bloated. And avoiding sugary mixers will definitely prevent a really bad hangover, because a lot of the times that's what makes us feel like jittery the next morning and just not as great. So stick to things like neat drinks or gimlets or things that just are like freshly squeezed, or water. Not that I'm taking that advice. Another tip is to take cash only. If you're like me and you tend to go out and you're having a really good time and you just like start swiping, like swiping. When you're using a credit card or a debit card, anything like plastic, unless you're like actually checking your bank statement as you go, you don't like see how much money you're actually spending. So what I like to do to avoid this is just bring out cash. Like bring out how much cash you think you're gonna spend, include like food, include drinks, include tipping your server, your bartender, include covers, include whatever needs to be included in your night out, or whatever you think that you're doing, whatever it is. Just try to bring that much cash, because what's gonna happen is as you're spending, you're gonna like physically see your cash pile shrink, and you're gonna be more inclined to spend money on things that like are a bit more rational. I'm like much more civil when I have cash versus when I have credit card. And I've never gone out and like run out of cash or like ever like had this feeling like, oh, this was such a terrible idea. It always goes really well, and I wake up the next morning and I'm like, I don't even have to panic checking my bank statement because I know what it is, because I told myself I was going to take out this cash and it went really well. So that's a tip. My next tip is this app that I found recently, and it's changed my life. No more going out to eat with a group of friends and having to like deal with splitting the bill. Well, it's nice to just be like, let's just all put our cards down, separate the check 6 ways, 8 ways, however many ways. Sometimes you're the one who's ordered chips and salsa and your friend down there has ordered a 16-ounce steak, and it's like excuse me. There's an app for that, which I did not know until recently, and now my whole world is different. So the app is really user-friendly and there is no math involved. There's no more like having $50 that's like unspoken for. There's no more of like who ordered gratuity. I'm obsessed. And because it does all the work for you, you don't have to like deal with like stressing out your server, stressing out your bartender, stressing out yourself. It's just like easy, breezy, beautiful calculation. So one thing that I really enjoy is smelling good at the start of the night and smelling good at the end of the night. And sometimes it is a little bit difficult for a perfume to last throughout the whole night, but there are ways to make it last just a little bit longer so that you still smell sweet at the end of the night. It's all about spraying your perfume on your pulse points. These are places where you can feel your heartbeat. When your perfume comes in contact with your pulse point, it's gonna pretty much activate the perfume, and therefore it's gonna last a bit longer and it's gonna be a bit more consistent. Another tip to make your perfume last a little bit longer is to not rub your wrists together. So just like one of those will do. Don't like rub it, because you're actually diminishing the molecules in the perfume, and that's actually diminishing the scent of the perfume, and it's not gonna last as long. So just like a quick like tap and go. Another tip to continuously smell fresh all night, and if you're a little bit of a hoarder at heart like myself, you probably have a bunch of these little sample perfumes, whether they were sent to you or they were gifted to you or you found them in a magazine. You somehow end up with these, and I don't know why I can't just like, can't throw them away. Just like popping one of these in your clutch is just like a lifesaver if you want to like smell like fresh again or like freshen up. They're just great, and like just use them like once or like twice, or just like have your like always in the clutch and ready perfume sample. They're just free and like easy to just like spray yourself and like keep it pushing, and they're so tiny, they take up no space in your clutch. Of course, we want our lips to last as long as we want our night to last, and this is a tip that is definitely well known, but I still feel like sharing just in case. You're gonna want to start off by lining your lips and then filling them all the way in. Because your lip liner is a little bit drier than your lipstick, it's gonna adhere to your lips just a bit better, and then it's gonna help the lipstick adhere to your lips. Then you're gonna go ahead and take the lipstick of your choice, and you're gonna just apply it as you would apply lipstick on your lips. Taking a piece of toilet paper and separating it so that it's just one ply, not two, you're gonna go ahead and apply it to your lips, and then you're gonna take a translucent powder and just go to town. Another oldie but goodie lipstick hack is the removal from the teeth of lipstick hack. Of course, we want to avoid having lipstick on our teeth because chances are someone might not tell you. It might be a little embarrassing. Depending on who you're out with, they might not tell you. So let's just avoid all of that together. So just a quick like, and you're done. That's just another super easy tip that I had to put it in here. Another tip that fits right in is actually bringing a spare makeup remover with you. If you're like me and you're into this matte lip trend, you know. So let's just bring a spare wipe with me, because I would just rather take my lipstick off and like start fresh, because it just goes on much nicer. And also you never know what might happen. You might need the makeup wipe for something else. This is a tip that I actually stumbled upon recently, but ever since then it's been like, where have you been all my life? We've all been there when it gets to that point of the night where you're just like starting to like be glowy in the wrong places, and it's just like, it's oil, we know it's oil. And sometimes we forget blotting papers, or they just don't fit into our bags, or whatever the case may be. Do not panic. Go to your restroom. We're just gonna pretend this is toilet seat paper cover for the sake of this video. And it's gonna do the same thing that blotting paper does for you, but for free and on the go. It's pretty much freezing where I am right now, so it's pretty safe to say that it is officially tights and stockings season. There's nothing worse than destroying a new pair or just a good pair of tights with runs. Sometimes it's not you, sometimes it's the tights. Like, I'm actually not sure that these tights aren't already destroyed. So take some hairspray and just mist them. So we're gonna give this a go. Voila. Deodorant is your friend. Those who believe in using deodorant, it's a great step for hygiene. But don't sleep on deodorant because it's got a couple of other purposes. One thing that I love to use deodorant for is putting it on the back of my heels, especially when I'm wearing like heels or just like shoes that aren't as comfortable in the back. This will help to avoid blisters just because it will get rid of some of that friction that tends to happen with your bare heel against the back of your shoe. So deodorant's definitely great for that. But also, if you've ever experienced chafing, you know it's a really, really, really bad feeling. It's just not a pleasant feeling to like feel like your thighs are just like sticking together and just like rubbing up against each other. It can cause irritation and redness, and it's just like, who has time for that? It's so easy to do. You just roll it in between your thighs and you're set through the night. Like it does not require reapplication. While deodorant can be our friend, it can also be our nemesis because sometimes it gets on our clothing. I probably should have worn different material today. Let's spin reality and say that I was wearing a black shirt that was not velvet. It's something that deodorant would actually adhere to and cause that like ugly streak. All you need to do are grab a pair of pantyhose or tights and just like rub them against whatever, and just rub them against that spot and it will come right out. This tip is another simple tip, but it's just really, really effective, and I thank myself every time that I do it. Sometimes we go out and we have like wild nights, or we just have really long nights and we get back and we're exhausted. But we've all been there. I know it happens to all of us when you get home from a long night and you know you should take off your makeup, but like for some reason you've already like ended up in your bed and you don't feel like getting back out of your bed, and like you just come up with all the excuses in the world to just not take off your makeup, even though you really should. Putting your makeup wipes next to where you sleep before you even go out. So before starting your night, put these makeup wipes next to your bed, because in the event that you get home and you get into bed and you're like, I know I can take off my makeup, but I don't want to get out of bed, it's just right there. You just reach over and like grab it. And of course, this isn't your nightly routine. And not only should you put makeup wipes next to your bed, also put 2 glasses of water next to your bed, especially if you plan on drinking. Like, definitely if you plan on drinking. One is for when you get home. You should just chug that water, no matter how tired you are, just like force yourself to drink the water. You'll thank yourself in the morning. And the second one is for when you wake up in the morning, just in case you feel a little bit disgruntled or just like not feeling it. You have water right by your bedside, just drink it. You'll feel so much better and your body will feel better and you'll just appreciate everything, and there won't be makeup on your face because you put the makeup wipes next to your bed, and it's just a really good place to be. So my last tip is actually safety related, and I feel like it's just kind of necessary, especially after like giving tips on like drinking and like not promoting drinking, but like just talking about it and like talking about going out. So I feel like it's important to like have something in this video that's like just safety driven. Another app called SafeTrack. What the app does is it provides you with a button, so kind of like a panic button. This is just like an inconspicuous way to call for help. So all you do is you hold onto the button and it just starts like pulsing and it turns red. So you're gonna hold the button until you feel unsafe or until you feel safe. And I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So if you unhold the button because you feel unsafe, SafeTrack will prompt you with a code. It's a 4-digit code that you decide the moment that you download the app, so definitely make it something that you remember. If 10 seconds goes by and you haven't entered your code, this lets the dispatcher know that you do need help sent your way. If you let go of this because you no longer feel threatened and you feel safe, that same 10 seconds you have to input the code. You input the code and it lets dispatchers know like, okay, I'm fine, I don't need you to send help. It's a 10-second window. So you let it go and it shows you the code. So then it lets you know, it's like your alarm has been canceled. You get a text message right away and it's like, we're glad you're safe, Kara. We're always here for you. Oh. That's why I added SafeTrack to the end, because I just feel like it's important to always talk about safety and always be cautious and always just be aware of your surroundings. It's not exclusive to any gender or any race or any age group. It's not exclusive to anyone. And at the end of the day, the one thing that we all have in common is we all just want to get home, and we want to get home safely. And I feel like that's why I should end on that note, that we should just go out and have fun, but also be really, really safe. So that is all for all of my tips and my tricks for a successful night out on the town. I hope that you found them really helpful. And of course, if you have any tips that I don't know about and should know about, please put them down below in the comments, because I'll probably be out on Friday. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time.